What if Deku joined Team JPDE? Chapter 10. Ice Cream Mute. Sunday. Day 28. Team JPDE were in Vale with two objectives today. The first one was to restock the pantry, and the second one was for Evelyn to buy cloth to make her outfit for the party. Alrighty, then. David. Izuku, you two are coming with me, Evelyn said. I knew we would be the pack mule, David said. Oh, come on. It's not like it's going to be heavy, with Aura. Also, you'll be splitting the load, Evelyn said. Would you like us to carry you as well, Your Highness, Deku asked. If you're offering, then. Hold out your arms, Izu, Evelyn said. Carrots, I appreciate your management skills, but as your leader I say, what about we share the burden, Jack said. What about food, though, Evelyn asked. Me and Jack are going to finish shopping and then reach you at the shop. I'm 75% positive we're going to finish before you do, Penny said. But I wanted to see them struggle, Evelyn said. I could carry anything cloth you could buy by myself, without my semblance or aura, Deku said. Then I guess I'll only see David struggle. At least for a while, Evelyn said. Why, David shouted. Because of reactions like these, Evelyn said. Let's just get to the shop, alright, David asked. Catch you later, girls, Evelyn said. Later, Carrots, Jack said. See you in a while. David. Izuku, Penny said. Jack and Penny then went to do food shopping, leaving Deku and David to the mercy of Evelyn. Seriously though, Evelyn. Just how much cloth do you need to make one dress, David asked. I don't really know, Evelyn said. You don't really know, Deku asked. I know in theory, but when you're colorblind there's a lot of trial and error involved, Evelyn said. You're colorblind, Deku asked. The eyes aren't just for show, bucko. They've been screwed up for a few years now, ever since I got my semblance, Evelyn said. Your semblance did it, David asked. No, silly. They're just a side effect of when I got it, Evelyn said. Evelyn. How can you talk about this so nonchalantly, David asked. The same way you talk about your amnesia so nonchalantly, Evelyn said. Point taken, it's just. I can't imagine what kind of event would leave someone colorblind, David said. Well, being blind does technically make you colorblind, Deku said. Evelyn and David wanted to argue against it but realized that what Deku said was true. Of course, that hasn't happened since you can see, Deku said. Who knows, maybe she is. She could just be really good at hiding it, David said. As talented as I am, I in fact can see. So, you want to know how I became colorblind, Evelyn asked. Well, I am curious, but I feel it's not a happy story, is it, David asked. Nope. It's pretty weird, too, Evelyn said. Then. Maybe another time. We're here to get stuff for a costume for a party, aren't we? Doesn't really fit the mood, Deku said. It would be if it was a horror-themed party, Evelyn said. Who knows? They may host one in the future, Deku said. But what would we go as, David asked. The three then started to talk about Halloween costumes. Over in another part of Vale. Roman, it was a pleasure doing business with you, Howard said. You're a good lair, kid, but your crystals more than fit the deal. Haven't seen something this pure in years, Roman said. Let's just say I know a place. And it's not a place you could get to even if you knew of it, so don't bother trying to get the location out of me, Howard said. Nah, way too much trouble. Also, if I have to be honest, whatever your operation in Vale is, it kind of intrigues me. Well, me and my associates, Roman said. Hope it's not enough intrigue to make you muck around with it, Howard said. Considering you could counter-muck the operation I'm involved in right now. Not really. I can't really say the same for my associate, though, Roman said. Excuse me, Howard asked. Back with Evelyn, Deku and David. I'll be right back, Deku said. Okay. I'll punish him in the meantime, Evelyn said. Don't leave me with her, David said. David had forgotten to add sugar to the shopping list. Deku had left the boutique since there was no signal inside. This left David alone to carry the cloth as Evelyn's punishment for forgetting. Deku was about to message Penny when he was hit by something. He saw that it was a pebble that had hit him. Deku looked towards the direction the pebble was thrown. He saw a very short girl sitting on top of a bench. Though she may be small, the curves of her hips and chest tell Deku that she is a grown woman. Hello. Why did you throw a pebble at me? It is kind of rude, Deku said. She doesn't say anything. She just swings her legs around in her seat and brings her umbrella to the front, closing it. No, seriously. Why did you hit me with a pebble, Deku asked. There was not answer again. Well, no audible one. Deku could see her shoulders shake with mirth at his question, but no sound reaches his ears. Suddenly, with a short hop, she gets off the flower pot and the bench, quickly straightening herself up to Deku, umbrella now strapped behind her back. Hello. Do you know me somehow, Deku said. She laughs again, but no sound comes from her mouth. So you are mute then, Deku said. The girl looked at Deku in surprise. What? Never had someone figure that out that quickly, Deku asked. The girl nods. Anyway, I don't like being messed with like that. So please stop and go away, Deku said. The girl looks surprised again. She points at the shop. That's different. Even though she can be a rascal. Evelyn is a friend, Deku said. The girl then laughs. She then walks closer to Deku and extends her hand towards him to shake. You want to be friends so you can mess with me, Deku said. She nods, with no shame whatsoever. Deku then backs away. The girl pouts and walks up to Deku, pressing her chest against his. Deku backs away again. She gets angry and moves closer, then Deku moves away from her to the other side of the street. The girl then proceeds to try and get closer to Deku, but he keeps moving away. The two continue this until they are out of breath. The girl then lunges at Deku. Hey, what the? Let go of my arm. I'm not shaking your. Ow ow ow. Are you just freaking butt me? What is it with short children biting me, Deku shouted. This caused the girl to bit even harder. She then fled the scene of the crime. Aiju. Are you still on the phone? Oh, I get it. You and Penny got stuck trying to make the other hang up first, Evelyn said, coming out of the shop. What the hell happened to you, David asked. I made a new friend. I guess, Deku said. Who exactly did you make friends with? A pack of feral cats, Evelyn asked. No, a feral cat would have been much better than that bitch, Deku said. Deku's scroll then went off. Let me catch that. It's probably Penny, Deku said. The message was in fact not from Penny, but from the ice cream looking girl. I heard them. Angry face. Neo, the message said. Great. Now she has my scroll number, Deku said. Little did the three know that Howard was watching. Well, that was actually entertaining. No harm done, Roman Howard said. A while later, Team Jade had finished shopping and were now back in their apartment. She even tore part of my costume up. This is supposed to be high-grade stuff. Why are there a bunch of peculiar people in Beacon and Vale, Deku said. The other looked sadly at Deku. Don't look at me like that. We are weird. Team RWBY is weird. At least one member of Team JNPR is weird. Everyone we seem to meet is weird in some way. I mean, David was put into a meteor and flung into Vale with his memories erased, Deku said. But you said it like it was a bad thing, Evelyn said. Deku signed. That's just because of my mood. Other than the scratches, she damaged my clothes. I only have the one set, Deku said. That's true, Penny said. Speaking of clothes, David could go for some new clothes. Hunter-oriented ones, Jack said. And maybe try a new hairdo, Evelyn said. I guess. I definitely need new hunter clothes. My sleeves would be shredded if was attacked by that girl, David said. I'd say. And don't worry, Deku. I'll patch up the holes she's made, Evelyn said. Are you sure your work will last? Not to insult it, but my costume is made from a high-grade material that is not meant to rip. It used those materials as if I use superpower at too high a percentage it would tear my clothes into shreds, Deku said. Wait, so your semblance can strip you naked, David asked. Basically, yes, Deku said. That's Penny said. Kind of hot, Evelyn said. Of course, you would make it sexual, you dirty bunny, Deku said. You're welcome, Evelyn said. It was now night time. Team Jade had eaten dinner and were now getting ready for bed. Jack, Deku and David were already asleep in bed. Penny was in the shower and Evelyn was sitting at her desk fixing Deku's costume. There we go. All fixed up, Evelyn said. Evelyn had patched the holes Neo had made with green and red cloth, like on her clothes. Now on to my party costume. Now what should I go for? It should be so that they can't stop looking at me. Though I should probably keep it tame. Don't want them to freeze this time, Evelyn said. She then looked at Deku and David sleeping. But now comes the hard decision. Hey. Hard. That'll be happening at the party, but who am I going to get physical with? I like the both of them, but Penny does like David. But she also likes Aiju, so I'll think about it later. I need to actually make my costume first, can't let them just see me naked. Yet, Evelyn said. Evelyn then started to design her costume. Meanwhile, in the shower, Penny was washing herself. She was currently thinking about David and Deku. I like them both, and so does Evelyn. But we can't have them both, or share them. Actually, I'll have to do some research, Penny said. A while later, Penny stepped out of the bathroom. She saw Evelyn at her desk focused on drawing. Evelyn, Penny said, butting her hands on her shoulder. Evelyn jumped in surprise. Sorry I scared you, Penny said. It's okay. I was so focused on drawing, I didn't hear you, Evelyn said. Well, you can have your shower now, Penny said. Okay, thanks. Hold on. Is that Evelyn asked? It is. I like wearing it. Though I put my collar on this time, Penny said. You naughty ginger. Want them to pop a boner again, Evelyn asked. Penny just looked away in embarrassment. Maybe, Penny said. Hey Penny. If you had to choose between David and Ijuku, who would you choose to be with, Evelyn asked. That's a very specific question. Is there a logical reasoning for your question, Penny asked. No reason. No reason whatsoever, Evelyn said. I honestly cannot choose between them to become my sexual partner. I like the both of them and would like to get closer to them. So, if I had to choose one, I would just let it happen. I'd be more than happy to end up with either of them, Penny said. I see. Well, I'm gonna have my shower now, Evelyn said. Okay. Good night, Evelyn, Penny said. Good night, Evelyn said. As Evelyn entered the bathroom, Penny looked to her bed, and then to David and Deku. Penny then walked over to David and Ijuku's bed. She then grabbed the end of the duvet and pulled it up. She then crawled up the bed between David and Deku until her head met theirs. She was now sandwiched between them. She was then grabbed onto by Deku and so was now being spooned by Deku. She blushed heavily before she cuddled David, and David cuddled back. Meanwhile in the shower, she said that she doesn't mind who she ends up with. That means it full game for the both of them. But who should I go for? You know what? Fuck it. Whoever I end up fucking won't matter. I like the both of them as well. And I bet they both have huge fucking. No Evelyn. Stop being horny. You can be horny when you get either stud, Evelyn said. Evelyn then finished showering and exited the bathroom. She saw the position Penny was in. That lucky bitch. Why can't that be me? I want to have them. Fuck, why am I so horny? Evelyn asked. Evelyn walked over to her bed and stripped naked, leaving her clothes and underwear on the floor. She then grabbed her toys and put them on her bed, two of which were very long and thick. She then grabbed her scroll and put some earpods in her ears. She then went on to a dirty site. She pulled up a video of 2 men and 1 girl. She spent the night pleasuring herself, copying what she saw in the video. Fuck yes. Fuck my whole Zaijuku. David. Fuck them hard, Evelyn moaned. End of chapter 10.